And we begin this bulletin with breaking news coming in from UK. It seems amid the Epstein files row, the former Prince Andrew, has been arrested. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The former UK royal, has been now arrested. Now, this has happened as he was celebrating his 66th birthday. Now, this is first high-profile arrest in the Epstein files. UK police has said that it is important that we protect the integrity and objectivity of our investigation as we work with our partners to investigate this alleged offence. So, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Police say that he is in custody and officers are carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk. Photos were released which showed many cars arriving at his estate earlier this morning, and the Thames Valley police are saying that they were assessing a complaint over the alleged sharing of confidential material by the former prince with the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew turned 66 today, and this arrest comes on the day he was celebrating his birthday. He has already been removed from the UK royal lineup. Joining us now is India Today's Geeta Mohan. Geeta, what do we know about this arrest?
Well, these are very the details aren't coming out enough for us to say that it is exactly what are the counts, charges on which the former prince has been arrested or taken into custody. But these are reports that are coming in from UK media, wherein they have only mentioned the official position is that on suspicion of misconduct in his time in office, the individual has been arrested for the investigations that are being carried out with regards to the Epstein files. But beyond that, they have not revealed the identity, and it clearly says, the statement says that they want to protect the identity of the person. But media reports have suggested that the arrest was made, or the man was taken into custody from the residence, the current residence of the former prince. And this certainly is one of the most serious cases in terms of how it's moving forward in the investigations. Unlike what we've seen in the United States of America, there are more heads that have rolled in other parts of the world, other countries, and particularly this one case where there are too many details that are coming out of those emails that have been declassified and clearly show not just misconduct, but also the charges are grave. They are to do with not just soliciting women while in office. They have to do with the treatment, the age of the women or the girls, and therefore this is a very, very serious case, and investigations are being carried out. The matter is something that has embarrassed the royal family. Remember, every time King Charles now goes anywhere and in a public function, he's normally asked questions, especially when Prince Andrew was not stripped of his title, the then prince. There were a lot of questions that were asked of him, and now we're looking at the entire case taking a very, very serious turn. This is amid the Epstein files row that we're looking at Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor being taken into custody. Misconduct in public office is the suspicion. We'll have to wait and see what the details that emerge. For now, the authorities have not named the former prince.
Absolutely, and his privacy is being kept secret by the police there. But let's talk about the former Prince Andrew right now. What are the kind of things that had come out once the Epstein files were released? Because he was removed from the Royal Lodge. So there must have been some allegations that have come out. Can you give us a little detail about that?
Well, some of it. It's the fact that he admitted to certain wrongdoing. while in public office, serving as a prince, a part of the royalty, and traveling and enjoying the privileges of that of being a prince. And while he was that, the emails that have surfaced very clearly show that he was soliciting women. The exchange is very clear in terms of how he sought certain kind of women in certain places, in certain countries. There are victims who have come out and actually named the individual. There are photos that have come out. There are exchanges between him and Epstein that are now out. So there's enough incriminating evidence. The only part of the investigation that would really do him in many ways than one is should he be found guilty of soliciting underage girls. That certainly is going to be a very, very serious case. Apart from that, the fact that there has been victimization, torture, reports of torture, there are victims who are talking about it, who've been out in the open about it. So the case is rather serious. And if the investigations are to do with Epstein file, if the individual later turns out to be the man in question over here, then this is a very serious turn. In fact, one of the most serious handling of the Epstein files in any country that we've seen so far.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of talk in America, but no action as yet. We've seen daily press briefings in the White House where the questions are raised, but the answers are not given. You are correctly saying that this is probably the first action that we're seeing at such a high level. But do tell us what kind of light does that put over the royal family? Complete dissociation with him, removing the title, moving him out of the royal lodge. Will that be enough, or this is going to cast a shadow over the royal family?
Well, it has indeed cast a shadow, unlike any other, because the royal family of Britain is treated very differently, and we all know how important they are to the whole push in terms of foreign policy and how they further the agenda of the government in many ways than one. And over here, the fact that he used those privileges to travel, he used those privileges to be able to live a very wealthy, healthy, and prosperous life, and he misused those privileges by taking young girls and putting and victimizing them through sexual offenses. That's a very, very serious charge. So for now, the fact that there's so many details that are emerging from the email exchange that he's had with Ghislaine Maxwell and with Epstein during the course of their interaction and their relationship, so to say, clearly shows that there is a lot that that must be under investigation when it comes to this one individual. Apart from having been stripped of his royalty, he's also stripped of his title. He was also asked to move out of the official residence and move to an unofficial cottage. So again, we'll have to wait and see where the investigations are headed. For now, the authorities are rather tight-lipped. They are not revealing the name of the person or the charges against him, just saying that this is a very serious case and that there are investigations that are underway. And so a said individual has been arrested and have not divulged the name of the individual.
Right. Geeta, do tell us which are the big names on which the spotlight has been constantly. We do know, of course, the former prince is there. There are some other UK royals as well, the former royals who have been whose names surfaced in terms of email exchanges. And then there are many so-called royalty or who are celebrities or rich people or politicians in America and other countries who are said to have had some sort of either relations or email exchanges or some sort of a relationship with that man even after he was convicted. So can you give us an idea about which are the big names?
Well, there are some very big names that he himself was connected with. We do know that the names, and I'm here at the AI Summit where the name of Bill Gates coming up at the in the Epstein files had become a source of a huge embarrassment. And there was a lot of conversation around whether if he's going to be a keynote speaker or not, his name will be there or not on the web as well. So there are many others who are big names and whose names have appeared, whether it's Noam Chomsky, one of the most well-known, renowned authors and political thinkers, or for that matter, Stephen Hawking, whose name appeared in the Epstein files. But more prominently from the United States, the Norwegian royal family, but more importantly from the point of view of the United States of America, Trump, the Clintons, Obamas, they were all part of the party. Meera Nair, Mamdani's mother and a renowned filmmaker, they all figure in the name in the list, but in terms of investigations and incriminating evidence, there are only a very few who have very serious charges against them. There are certainly some names, including the President of the United States of America, and very recently, the name of Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, also came out. So we'll have to wait and see how it pans out, because we do know that officials in the U.S. have really or are really fighting tooth and nail to prove their innocence. In some other cases, it has become rather untenable, and therefore you've seen some resignations, particularly when it comes to stripping the former prince of his title. That has happened, but in terms of investigations and further details of who were really involved. See, this is not just sexual offense, a case of sexual offense or repeat offense. It's also about trafficking. It's about underage girls. It's about teenagers. It's about slavery, so to say. So there are a lot of serious charges should the charges be proven. The said individual, in this case, former Prince Andrew, and in other cases, heads of state, heads of government, prominent political thinkers, filmmakers, lawyers, they're all in the Epstein files. Will have to face some sort of a rule of the law.
Right, absolutely. And as you were saying, many of them might not have much to do with the man, but they were politically exposed. They either shared pictures with him or any sort of relationship that could be established, because almost 300 high-profile names were released by the DOJ. And if you could tell us, how did this entire issue came to the fore? How did the world get to know about Epstein, despite the fact that his entire business had been running for many, many years?
Well, there have been victims of Epstein who have come out and spoken in the past. Also, nobody really paid heed or attention to the victims. There are individuals who have written books. There are individuals who have taken the matter to court, filed cases against Epstein. But it all was not handled in the way it should have been handled. The power brokers, the powers that be, really did not want this entire issue to come out, because a lot of names, like you can very clearly see, would have been out in the open. And then finally, there was a case of complaints that were filed with regards to Epstein and his residence. And that's when everything unraveled for him, because the case was filed. The cops took note of the victim, and all the other earlier accounts came out. So he was indeed in prison. He died in prison. While he was in prison, Ghislaine Maxwell is still serving, and that's when all the laptops, the computers that were seized from his residence were taken into custody, and the files were classified, and only now have been declassified. So since the files have been declassified, names have been coming out. This is a massive tranche. So there are organizations that have done a lot of work to organize the emails in a way that people who are looking for a certain individual or certain name and connections would be able to find those connections. And therefore, you're seeing a lot of steady flow of information coming out of the Epstein files.
Right. And coming back to the former prince, do tell us what has been the attitude of the government in UK and the royal family as far as the allegations and the subsequent action against him has been concerned. Okay, we'll try and connect with Geeta once more, but As she was just informing us, this entire network of Epstein has blown open. And now one of the people affected is the former prince, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. He was in the eye of the political storm earlier as well, and that is why he was stripped of his official title, his official royal title. He was asked to move out of his official residence. And now it seems, as the UK police are saying, that a man in his 60s has been arrested in this matter. They have not named the person who has been arrested, but the UK media seems to be reporting that it is the former Prince Andrew who has been arrested by the police. This is a huge news right now coming in from the UK. This would be the first big arrest in the matter of Epstein files. Now, the Prime Minister of UK has said that nobody is above the law. He has made it absolutely clear, as far as the former prince allegations are concerned, that nobody is above the law. He has said that he said this while he was asked about Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, but he declined to say whether the former prince should volunteer himself to the UK police or not. Well, this entire point is moot now, as he has been arrested. The Prime Minister told BBC Breakfast the principle was very important and has to apply in this case in the same way it would in any other case. That means the law would continue on its course for any man, whether he is a royal or not. Police are currently considering allegations including that a woman was trafficked to the UK by the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein for the former prince. Andrew has consistently and strenuously denied any kind of wrongdoing. The accusation came to light following the release of the US documents relating to the trafficking investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. And now what we are hearing is that the former prince has been arrested from his residence, but the police has refrained from naming who has been arrested. But the UK media has sort of given a hint and has gone ahead to claim that it is Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor who has been arrested on the suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was the trade envoy, remember, and the allegation is that he could have possibly misused his public office. There could be some confidential documents and information that could have been exchanged with Jeffrey Epstein. Although the former prince had claimed that he had broken all ties with Jeffrey Epstein in 2010, but later on there were certain emails that came to the fore that indicated that he still maintained contact with him after 2010 as well. It is believed that he could have sent trade reports to Jeffrey Epstein in 2010. If that is true, then that would be a huge problem for the former prince. And not just that, there is also the allegation of misconduct and the allegation of trafficking and sexual misconduct with a woman who's underaged, a girl who's underaged. Joining us now is India Today Global's Pranay Upadhyay. Pranay, a shocking development that has taken place in UK. It seems a high-profile arrest. What are we hearing about it?
What we are learning that the identity of the arrested man has not been disclosed by the UK police authorities, but definitely various other premises belonging to the person who's reportedly in his 60s and believed to be Prince Andrew Windsor. He has been arrested by the UK police authorities in connection with the Jeffrey Epstein case, and also the allegations regarding the trafficking of a woman related to Epstein case to UK is also under investigation. So these are fast-moving developments. In fact, a statement coming from Prime Minister Keir Starmer also indicate that no one is above law. This is what he indicated, but this statement was before this development, and the statement put out by the Thames Valley Police Station clearly indicates that a man in his 60s is under arrest. And in fact, his Norfolk and Berkshire premises are also being investigated and searched by the police authorities there. So clearly, there is an indication that Prince Andrew, whose name appeared and surfaced in Epstein files, various other images and correspondence came to light after the DOJ, U.S. Department of Justice, released the documents related to Epstein case. Have come to light, and in fact, there's a lot of criticism. And in fact, we have seen the recent statement put out by the Kensington Palace as well. The royal family have distanced themselves from Prince Andrew, and in fact, he was expected to turn into police. However, now it is believed that he is under arrest, and he has been arrested by the Thames Valley Police Station, and police authorities are investigating this case related to the Epstein case and various other trafficking charges.
Right, Pranay, it's quite shocking that how the former prince kept insisting that he had broken ties, but the latest dump of these Epstein files, the latest tranche that came out, has exposed multiple times that he continued to stay in touch. But also importantly, as you were mentioning, he had a certain portfolio responsibility that was given to him as a trade envoy, and he violated that responsibility. That is the allegation. Do tell us how.
Absolutely. Not only that, but you also know, Anjali, that the royal family gets their perks and other benefits by virtue of by them being the royal family and the constitutional monarchy of the United Kingdom, where and the public account to pay for their perks and their benefits, and therefore they are kind of holding a public office. And in fact, the investigation terms also involved that they are being investigated as misusing the public office and the authority vested on them as the public representative. They also hold other responsibilities, as well as you mentioned about the trade responsibility held by Prince Andrew Windsor. And this is clearly, the issue is long being debated in United Kingdom after the Epstein file case came to surface. And in fact, people are asking the royal family to come out clean on this issue, and therefore we have seen that the royal family have also issued statement, including the Prince William and Prince Kate, and distancing themselves from this case. But clearly, this is a case of public accountability as well, and accountability of the high offices. And in fact, Prince Andrew was under pressure that he should turn in and he should approach the police authorities. However, as you mentioned that he has given out the statement clearly saying that he snapped his ties much earlier with Jeffrey Epstein. But there are correspondences, there are emails, there are references about him, and the kind of the messages were exchanged, the kind of photographs appeared. This clearly put a lot of pressure on the UK royal family, and especially on Prince. But now the case is under investigation, and Prime Minister Keir has also mentioned, as I would like to repeat, his statement that no one is above law, and the UK police authorities as well as the UK government is now investigating the case and what exactly is the magnitude of his involvement in the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Right, absolutely. But this does raise some serious questions, considering the fact that this is a former royal who in 2010 also sent out an invitation to a man who was already under house arrest, and right after his release, he sent him an invitation to come over to Buckingham Palace. So that does sort of raise a question as to what kind of access was he ready to provide to a man who was already maligned.
Absolutely, Anjali, and these are the various contours and the various issues which will be investigated, I'm sure, because this issue is being debated in public in United Kingdom, and in fact. The Thames Valley Police Station is now investigating the case, as well as the raids are being conducted, the searches are being conducted at various premises, especially in Norfolk and Berkshire areas, and the premises belonging to Prince Andrew Windsor. And clearly, this indicates that the UK police authorities are taking this case very seriously. There is a public pressure as well on this case. And in fact, the UK royal family is also under pressure to come out clean on this case, because if he was extending an invitation for Jeffrey Epstein to visit the Buckingham Palace, what authority he's holding and how much influence he is holding, and how much involvement he had in various other invitations and other cases as well. And I'm sure the other aspects of his involvement will also be investigated, and especially if the charges are pertaining to the trafficking of a woman, then these are certainly very serious charges. And as is being indicated by the UK police authorities, they are investigating all aspects related to it. However, I would like to repeat that the no identity of the arrested person has been shared by the UK police authorities so far.
Right, but clearly, first action coming in on a high-profile person. If this is correct, that it is the former prince, this is the first time that we are seeing some sort of an action coming in. But Pranay, do tell us that he's not the only one who can be called high-profile. There are almost 300 people who are mentioned in the emails. They may not have done something. I'm not saying that they could have done something wrong, but the mention, their name comes up in the emails, or they had some sort of a correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein. And surprisingly, there are many who kept in contact with him after he was convicted of certain misdemeanors. Despite of that, many people kept in touch with him.
Absolutely. He was first arrested in 2008, and even after that, many people kept that correspondence, remain in touch with Jeffrey Epstein, and in fact attended his parties. So clearly, this case, which is under investigation in United Kingdom, certainly put pressure on many people, many influential people, and many people, those who are holding high offices. Clearly, and in fact, if you see the former president of the United States, Bill Clinton, and the former Secretary of State, Hill Clinton, have agreed to testify before the U.S. Congress on 26th and 27th of February, respectively, and both will testify before the U.S. Congress. And this is their way to explain their position. And in fact, they have issued the public statement as well. And besides that, that recently, even in fact today, a statement issued by the Bill Gates Foundation clearly indicating that Bill Gates won't be participating, and he did not participate. He was scheduled to speak at around 11:50 a.m. today morning in the India AI Impact Summit, and he's in India. But his name was earlier dropped from the key speakers list, and now this came to light that he's not participating. He's not coming as a key speaker to the AI Impact Summit. This is clearly being seen as an impact of the Jeffrey Epstein case and the mounting pressure on people, those who are holding high offices. And in fact, since the issue is being debated in public, people are expected, especially these high ups and people, those who are holding offices, to come out clean on these cases, and in fact, get themselves exonerated in the court of public opinion.
Right. Social isolation is something different that we are seeing as far as you were talking about Bill Gates. That's sort of a social isolation, but there is more to it. There are people who have actually been involved in some sort of a criminality as well. So up till now, have we seen any sort of action happening internationally in any case as far as criminality is concerned?
Probably this would be the first case of the criminal nature which has been registered by the UK police and being investigated, and certainly this will open gates for other government authorities also to look into it. The cases for the people in their respective countries, and in fact, even in the United States, if you see that no case or no investigation is underway as far as the Department of Justice is concerned, besides the Ghislaine Maxwell's case, who was an accomplice to Jeffrey Epstein. And in fact, Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in 2019, and thereafter no further arrests happened. But now, since the cases, the papers have come out, around 300 GB data, United States Department of Justice has committed to release as part of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. So more names can tumble out of these correspondences and these files. But as we know that no serious or a criminal investigation is underway besides Prince Andrew's case in UK. No high-profile case is under investigation. But since it's a developing story, names and other cases are getting added to it. So we have to wait for a while till the time Department of Justice clarifies that they have released all the documents, because the process of redacting the documents, release of the document, is still underway.
Right, absolutely. And this arrest, if this has really happened, would probably an indication to all, at least in UK, there are no holy cows. As the UK PM is saying that there is no one who is above the law, because reaching up to the highest echelons shows that action is going to take place. But let's talk about the DOJ investigation. These files did not come out easily. It took a lot of effort. And even now, they have just become fodder for political fight between the right and left.
Absolutely, there is a divide. But if you see that there was a bipartisan agreement, there was a bipartisan bill which actually mandated and, in fact, put pressure on Department of Justice to release these 300 GB data from the Epstein files and release, recently around 3 lakh papers were released, around 1,500 audio files and 2,500 videos have been released by the Department of Justice. And this is the regularly at regular interval after the reduction and the evaluation process, tranches of that data is being released by the Department of Justice. And in fact, as I mentioned that, even former U.S. President Bill Clinton, whose name appeared, even former First Lady and former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is expected to testify on 26th and 27th of February as part of this Jeffrey Epstein case. And in fact, the Democratic Party has clarified. In fact, the various leaders associated with the Democratic Party have also clarified that this is this is a negative campaign which is being run to tarnish their names. But certainly there is a pressure on people, those who have held high offices, those who are still in high offices or positions, to come out clean and explain their position, that at what extent they were involved. Because the kind of pictures have come, these are clearly case of the sexual exploitation of minors here, and this is not pertaining to United States alone. Right. But the kind of correspondence have come. Those who have visited the island of Jeffrey Epstein, those who have attended his parties, are certainly under pressure to explain their positions. Right.